Hello everyone, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television.
And I'm Kim Anderson. I'm on the board of MCAT, and I'm also the Director of Programs and Grants for Humanities Montana.
We want to invite you to this, our last show of the 15-16 season.
How many years has this been now?
I don't know, I think 5.
Oh my God.
I think we're in our the end of the 5th year of Missoula Live, and we'll be back in September?
Who would cancel us?
Right, okay. So Kim will be back too.
Yes,
I really appreciate that. That's great. So I have a little bit of news. We have tons of guests, so we're going to move at a lightning pace. The only news I have is MCAT is still offering summer camps for kids. We've got 2 camps offered for kids between the ages of 9 and 13. We're going to open another animation camp because the first one is full.
Wow.
Isn't that right, Scott? It's animation.
That's
Not
cool.
the wildlife one, but animation. So whatever week that is, July 11th, there'll be another one on July 18th. Otherwise, people go to the website at mcat.org and see what we have to offer your kids this summer in the way of activities. Reasonably priced, there's scholarships available if the price is too much, so just ask. And the other news is animation drop-in Saturdays are finished also for the season.
And it was a huge success.
Yeah,
right?
I would say so.
Yeah.
You know, we had a healthy batch of kids every time, even in the nice weather, but it's going to become so nice.
Yeah,
So much better than it is right now.
Kick those kids outside.
Right, that they'll have to go outside. So for the final animation get-together, it is this upcoming Saturday, and that's, I think, the 21st. And at 1 o'clock, until I guess they stop coming, the crew, Scott, Noel, Mason, and Neil, they will be given a little party. So sugar will be involved.
They're saints.
When they say party, they're talking sugar in some form. And you will be able to view some of the outstanding animation made by these upstanding children since October. Some of them, I think, have come every Saturday.
Wow.
And then others, of course, are more cavalier and amateur. And they love it, but they come when they can. So that's all my news. We're going to turn to our first guest, Karen Ward. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. So I thought of inviting someone from your organization because I understand that May, the month of May, is Mental Illness Awareness Month. And I thought, National Association for the Mentally Ill, NAMI, some say, right? I want someone, and you are our someone.
Some people call it NAMI. Some people call it NAMI.
Okay.
NAMI mommy, NAMI mammy.
It's
Right.
a
We don't
tomato
care.
tomato
Yeah,
thing.
that
Yeah.
came to mind
We don't
immediately.
care. Just call us.
Right, right.
So could you tell people, give them a little background? They may not be aware that this resource is available to them.
Well, it was set up many years ago in Madison, Wisconsin by a group of mothers who realized that when their children, either young children, not real young children, but teenagers, older children, were hospitalized, nobody was telling them what was going on if they were hospitalized for mental illness.
Yeah.
Because of security and privacy reasons, they got no information. So they formed this group to, let other family members know that you're not alone. Because it happens in all income levels. You know, usually mental illness strikes when someone's in their late teens and early 20s.
Yeah.
You don't usually expect it. It sort of comes out of nowhere, and you don't know what to do, where to go, who to talk to. So that was the original reason it was started. It's also there to support folks that do have mental illnesses. We have a support group for people that have mental illnesses. We have a weekly support group for the family members. And then we have, my favorite thing is we have a class called Family to Family, which is a 12-week class. It's free. It's taught nationwide. Over 300,000 people have taken it. And so if you have a family member or a friend that has a mental illness, you can take the class. It talks about how to talk to someone with a mental illness, how the medications work, how mental illness affects the brain. You know, if they do a MRI of someone's brain who has a serious mental illness like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, their CAT scan actually shows where it's different than a normal person's brain.
It's a structural or chemical thing,
Right.
not a mind
It's not a
thing.
character
Right,
defect.
Right.
It's just something that happens to some people's brains.
And so this class is open to anyone?
It's open to anyone. We only take 20 people. We teach it every year. We've taught it for the last 12 years. It starts in September, so it's a good time to talk about it, because if you're interested, then you should call. We do have an office. It's open 4 days a week in St. Paul's Lutheran Church from 9 to noon. And we have lots of books you can borrow, and you can call the office and get your name on the waiting list for the class. It's free. You get a lot of materials. They're paid for by the state of Montana.
Great.
I think it's a wonderful educational opportunity, because I think so many of us, I mean, everyone is touched by mental illness to some extent. We all know
True.
someone who struggles with, a variety of illnesses, but it can be intimidating. You can be insecure about asking questions and becoming informed, and really it's just about that, about being educated.
It is. It's just like any other illness. You start out with denial. This can't be happening to me. This can't be happening to my loved one. Anger. Why is this happening to me? Finally, by the end of the class, by the 12th week, you're saying, I'm not going to let this happen to anyone else. I want to help other people, so that they understand that nobody did this to themselves. Nobody acts like this on purpose.
Sure.
So it's a wonderful class. They also have a class called Peer-to-Peer, which is for folks that have mental illness, the same sort of thing, to teach them what it means for them and their bodies and minds.
It sounds like a great resource. Now, I didn't see Scott put the number up. He may not have known it, but I bet you know it by heart, the
I
number
do.
for
It's
people to call.
880-1013.
Right.
880-1013.
9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and it's Tuesday through
Monday
Friday?
through Thursday.
Monday through
Monday,
Thursday.
there's the website.
And is that
Paul's
staffed by
Lutheran.
volunteers?
It is. It's all a
So,
volunteer organization. And it's in St. Paul's Lutheran Church. If people want to stop by, if they have a question, we have
Great.
someone there all the time.
Karen, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you for
by.
volunteering.
We'll be right back. We're going to show you something Scott's got back there. I don't know what. And then we'll be right back with our next guest after this.
Birthdays come and go, each year adding up to a lifetime full of extraordinary moments. At Missoula Aging Services, we promote the independence, dignity, and health of older adults. We are ready to help connect seniors to the help they need. Knowing you've got friends to support you, each birthday can be special. See how we can help. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Buckle up, Montana. Life is a ride you want to stay on. Send a buckle up reminder to a friend at plantolive.mt.gov.
Sergeant Greg Amos with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about something I see downtown routinely, and that is pedestrians crossing against the pedestrian heads. So I'd just like to explain what is actually legal. You cannot begin crossing in the crosswalk when it's either flashing and in the countdown or solid red. The only time it's legal to begin crossing in that crosswalk is when the white crossing sign is displayed. What the countdown is for, and the only thing that that's there for, is to tell you how much time you have to finish crossing the street, presuming that you started when it was legal to do so.
Okay, we're back with Jack and Susan Renault. Welcome, and thanks for coming again.
Yes, good to see you
Thanks
again.
Memorial Day.
putting on the national dog, as you
I
offered
know.
to.
Here we are.
So what a great tradition, right? Another
You know,
Memorial
you
Day.
and I, my dear, I think have been hanging out for 20 Memorial Days.
It's been a while.
Probably.
It's
I
been a
think
while.
it has. You haven't been as long, but
No,
you're,
I'm a newbie.
But you are much lovelier. You are
But
much
there's
prettier.
Next year, I am going to match you in
And I even
sartorial.
have, look, I have even matching sneakers.
You're very good,
Sneakers.
very good.
Anywho, we have a big change in Memorial Day.
You were
this
just about to
year.
tell me
Yeah.
this when we had to.
We have always had huge services with flyovers and all kinds of things. Our honor and color guards are getting very, very old, and many of them have bad backs and bad knees and bad shoulders, and it is nearly impossible for them to go from 7 in the morning until 7 at night.
Oh, my goodness,
Which
yes.
is what we were doing. And so the United Veterans Council on May 30th, which is the traditional Monday Memorial Day this year, decided that we would do all the services, but only as a traditional Memorial Day wreath or red, white, and blue flower donation ceremony
Right.
for each of them. And we're going to do all 11. We're going to start at the VFW Hall at 245 West Main Street, which is where this handsome veteran hangs his hat. And that is their headquarters. And that will be at 9:15 in the morning, where we're going to start to line up. Beach Transportation is once again donating a school bus for all the honor and color guards to
Great.
get onto. Anyone wishing to follow the school bus can do so in their own vehicle.
Okay.
We are not going to have a set time for where we're going to be, but we are going to start at Caris Park at approximately 10 a.m. We are going to toss a beautiful wreath into the Clark Fork River, followed by a 21-gun salute and the playing of taps. We are going to then board the bus and go over to the courthouse, where we're going to raise the flag and raise it back down again to half-mast. We are going to then do the 21-gun salute. We are going to place beautiful buckets of flowers at the base of the World War I Doughboy statue, which has always been where that has occurred. And then we are going to do playing of taps. Following that, we're going to get back in the bus. We're going to go to the Fort Missoula Cemetery. We're going to do a dedication at a veteran's grave, and the three volleys, which is considered appropriate. And then we're going to be getting back in the bus. We're going to go to Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery. We're going to present beautiful wreaths and buckets of flowers at each of the beautiful flags that are flying there, and also, at the American Legion Rock. Then we're going to get back on the bus, and we're going to go to City Cemetery, St. Mary's Annex, St. Mary's Cemetery, Rose Park. And at Rose Park, we are going to place a wreath at all the memorials. There are 20 of them.
Oh, my.
I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
There are 20. We are going to go all the way around. At the end, this handsome gentleman and his honor guard from the VFW will once again do the 21-gun salute, which is technically called the three-volley shooting, followed by taps. We will get onto the bus, and our final presentation of arms and our volley and our playing of taps, which will be done by, is Tim Gress Navy?
Yes.
Okay, Tim Gress is a Navy veteran, will be playing taps on a bugle, and that will be at the Iraq-Afghanistan Beautiful Memorial at the University of Montana. Now,
Oh,
this
yes.
is where it really is significant, all of you listening. We are going to do this in approximately 4 hours.
So it's fast.
So if you don't follow us, if you snooze, you lose.
And so you're hoping that the window will be between 9:15, let's say, and 1:30 in the afternoon. You'll be done.
And we're not going to tell people when we're going to, for the last 20 years, Joel, I have said, okay, now we're going to be at Western Montana
Yeah, you
State
had that
Veterans Cemetery,
fixed date.
and then we're going to be here, and then we're going to be there. No. We are going to go boom, 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 boom. And we want people to follow us. I mean, it's a big yellow school bus.
You can't
it's like,
miss it,
It's
right?
like Big Bird. You cannot miss Big Bird. So, oops, sorry.
I knew that would happen.
So, sorry about that. Anyway, you are going to be able to see us, and the people who are participating on the bus are VFW, American Legion, the Civil Air Patrol, Knights of Columbus.
Right.
And we also have United States of Hope are sending a lovely, beautiful lady, Susanna.
Oh, yeah.
Cragmore is going to be singing the Star Spangled Banner. And we're VFW Post 209. He's my visual aid.
Right, the 209. He has something to say
There
at
you
the
go.
end of
I
your
know.
harangue.
He's my visual aid. And then American Legion Post 27, Missoula Civil Air Patrol, and the Knights of Columbus Patriotic Order, which he is actually a member of also. And then we're also going to be having U.S. Army Sergeant Sam Redfern giving all the prayers.
Oh, okay.
And I'm the chaplain of the United Veterans Council, so when his voice gives out, I'm going to help him.
Good.
But Benson Farms, once again, is donating these beautiful
wreaths.
flowers.
Oh, it's so nice.
And at the last meeting of the United Veterans Council, we made the wreaths. And so, it'll be lovely. But well, I don't know if we're going to get anybody to follow the school bus. Do you think anybody will do that? What do you
Well,
think?
I do, and let's say again,
Yeah.
the school bus leaves from where?
VFW Post 209, and that is at 245 West Main Street, which is almost directly across the street from Zip Auto
Right.
and
Right.
KECI Television.
Right. You really can't miss it. And people might know Bigga Pizza. And
Bigga
then
Right
Pizza.
there, right across the street from the shack.
Yes.
Can't miss
Yeah.
it. Shack is
Right.
delicious.
Have breakfast
And-
first. and
Right,
then
or
like-
come to the VFW
Oh.
because they're serving breakfast
Oh,
there.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, much better.
And for veterans,
That's
if you're a
nice.
veteran, come and have breakfast there. And we're going to be lining up, and the 9:15 is when our honor and color guards get on the bus. We are going to be pulling away from the VFW at 9:30 and getting over to Karis Park.
Right.
And the first service is at 10.
Okay.
And that will be basically the only service that you will know exactly when we're going to be there.
Because it's the start. And
Right.
you're in that very high traffic place. So
Right. And then after that, we hope that there will be a procession, but if there isn't,
you're going to live with it.
we were going to have to live with it
Yeah.
because our American Legion and VFW guys, and quite bluntly me,
Right.
I have had some very serious problems
You
with my
have
back
been
and neck.
through it.
And I can't do it anymore. In
Right.
fact,
No.
I'm usually in a walker.
Well, this
Yeah.
seems really to make a lot of sense, and
Well-
you're as busy as ever. You're just kind of compressing
We
it.
are compressing it, and the
making it
interesting thing is
doable.
prior to 1998, when we started doing these gorgeous flyovers
Mm-hmm.
and water boats and everything, prior to 1998, that was how it was done.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
we're
And this is the 89th year. So actually, we are
Amazing.
going back to tradition.
the traditional
So we
Memorial
want
Day.
everybody in Missoula,
Invited.
anybody watching, to be in the procession. Bring your own, automobile.
Yeah.
And follow us around. And it really is very inspiring. Now, Jack Renault is going to tell you about
Yes.
a super cool thing on the 27th
Oh.
of May.
What's
Hit it,
going on?
Jack.
Okay, it's actually Friday,
But you
May
have to smile.
27th to June
Smile.
2nd.
Smile.
And Ryan Zinke will be traveling the state, crisscrossing back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
giving 50th anniversary commemorative lapel pins to Vietnam veterans and Vietnam era veterans. Missoula will be Friday, 27th at 9 a.m. at Rose Park. So if you want to be involved with that, you call Ryan Zinke's office at 202-225-3211. And
Can you
can
say
go on
that
his
slow?
website,
Can you say it again?
202-225-3211, and that's to register so that they'll know you'll be there and how many folks will be at each place. But it's going to Billings, Kalispell, Great Falls during that weekend, but it'll be in Missoula at Rose Park on the 27th.
And I think some people might not know who Ryan Zinke is. Ryan
Yes.
Zinke is our only U.S. House of Representative. Ryan Zinke, because we are a small enough state, we only qualify for one.
Yeah.
And he is it. He's the one and only. And so, and some people don't know this, but Ryan Zinke is also a retired Navy
Right.
SEAL.
Right.
And he was the commander of SEAL Team 6, which is a very hotshot kind of
Yeah.
SEAL team, very amazing SEAL team. And so this is a very cool thing. We have a lot of Vietnam veterans. Jack is a Vietnam veteran. He did not mention that, and he is my visual aid, so I didn't say
Right.
this.
Well, it's hard to believe it's 47 years
Boy,
ago.
it
Since your
is,
service, that's
yeah.
Seems
amazing.
like yesterday.
Right, the way the time
Amazing.
goes.
And we've been married 42.
And that seemed even faster
And
amount of time.
No, actually, sometimes it seems slow.
There have been weeks it dragged a little bit.
weeks it's been long, but sometimes fast. It depends
Well,
on the week.
This is a very busy time of year for you, so I'm sure
Yeah.
it's been going fast lately. And thanks again for
Yeah, I guess we better
organizing
go. We got
all
so
of
many
this.
guests. But thank you so much for coming so
And I
many
will
years.
Yeah.
tip
Susan.
my hat to you. And I want to thank you
Likewise.
both
Thank you.
for hosting this lovely show and really getting the word out about wonderful people that do wonderful things. And I hope that we get a procession this year,
Yes.
May 30th.
May
Right,
30th.
that Monday, 9:15.
9:15 VFW,
VFW, Main Street.
Wear red, white, and blue.
Right. And if you miss the
carry a
bus,
flag.
if you miss the bus, it's at Karis Park at 10 a.m.
10
There you
a.m.
go.
And then
Right.
follow us around.
There you go. Okay,
All
thanks,
right,
you
we'll be
guys.
right back after this.
At Missoula Aging Services, you'll always be greeted with a warm welcome. Whether you are caring for an aging loved one or you're an older adult yourself, our friendly staff is ready to connect you to the help you need. You will always get unbiased advice, a free assessment of your needs, and personalized information about the resources available. See what we can do for you. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.com.
We're back. We are back with representatives of Five Valleys Autobahn. In the studio is the president of the organization, Rose Leach, and Larry Weeks. No stranger to this program. Thank you both for coming over. So there's a big event coming up at the Holiday Inn Parkside that you always have. And do you want to tell people a little bit about it?
Yes, so the Bird Festival is in conjunction with Montana Audubon, and it travels around the state. So in different years, it's in different places. So this year, we're having it in Missoula, and we've got 3 days worth of field trips and speakers and a banquet with dessert auction items
Great.
and silent auction items. So a lot of things for people to enjoy birds in their community.
Yes.
Larry put together the field trips, and why don't you tell
Yeah.
about
Ooh.
some of the places that are
Well,
available?
there's a pre-festival field trip down at Metcalf. Bitterroot Audubon is doing a digiscoping workshop down there and field trip from 3 to 5 on June 2nd. And then on the 3rd, when the festival gets started, Christy Du Bois is doing a bat walk that
That's
evening,
great.
Neat.
8:30 to 11 o'clock. And then the next morning, the participants gather for breakfast from 5 to 6. And we've got 19 field trips going out Saturday that are
Wow.
being led by knowledgeable people. And they're going to go to places like Browns Lake, Lee Metcalf, up at Lolo Pass, and all over the areas.
So for bird lovers, this is a pretty signature event.
Yes.
Yeah, there's, and then on Sunday, we've got 20 field trips on Sunday, same process where they have breakfast from 5 to 6, and then they go out on field trips for the rest of the day. Sometimes they last, a whole day, so. And then we even have some post-festival field trips. And post-festival field trips are full. We got one going to Bannock, which Jeff Marks is going to go on, and then I'm leading one to Freeze-Out Lake.
Wow, that's great,
And
isn't
we
it?
got people coming from Youngstown, Ohio, Wisconsin,
Wow.
California, Wyoming, to participate
Yeah.
in this field trip. Yeah.
I mean, this must be a huge volunteer effort. Do all your members get involved and really work on this for a while?
Yeah, maybe not as many as I would like.
Yes.
A lot do. The purpose of the festivals are a way to showcase our birds and bring in some money that helps us do our conservation work all year. So in this area, we have an important bird area called the Grass Valley IBA, and we do conservation work there. We do bird surveys, and we help with conservation easements, and we partner with Five Valleys Land Trust
Sure.
on projects like that. So we have another project, the Poo Poo Project. We put screens over vault toilet chimneys because birds can actually get down the chimneys, and it's
Oh,
not
I
very
see.
fun.
Oh.
So, and you'd be amazed at the number of toilets now that we all look at and go, that needs a screen, that needs a screen. So
And it's such a simple fix.
it's very
you know?
simple, and
Yeah.
so we started that last year. And so this helps us buy the screens, and then we go put them out for free on
Oh, that's neat.
Forest Service.
So
and-
then the homeowner, property owner could place the screen over it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, for people who are interested in going to the festival, do you sign up online, or how do you
can
reserve
sign
spots?
up online or call Montana Audubon, and the website, our website and theirs has the links to the.
Okay, we're showing it right now.
Yeah, it's shown on the
so-
screen to the folks
Yeah.
at home.
And is there a fee for these?
There's one fee for the registration that covers your field trips.
Oh, neat.
So
That's really
Okay.
great.
it makes it nice that way.
Yeah.
So you're hoping people will attend though and also participate in some of the fundraising activities as part of the conference.
Yes, that's right.
And once again, the dates,
June 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
right?
And the mayor's going to welcome everybody on Friday night, the 3rd.
Okay.
And then Eric Green will be speaking later on in the evening on the bird communication work that he does about how they trade and tell each other about predators in the area. It's quite
I
fascinating.
think that's fascinating too.
Yeah.
I think I have a bird feeder, and I don't know if I should, but I do have one, and I enjoy it very much. So I had read this thing, and I wondered if the birds felt this way about me, that not all bird calls are the same, and that the birds could say, "Here comes a predator," or the birds could say, "Oh, this guy, he's
It's
all
just
right."
Joel.
Right? He's just gonna fill up the bird
Right.
feeder. I don't know, but is it something along those lines?
Yes,
Yes, exactly.
and
That's
they
pretty
can
wild.
communicate between species and in fact even to mammals. So
Wow.
it's really interesting
amazing work.
research that he's
Yeah,
doing.
Wow.
and Kate Davis, we know at MCAT
Yes.
because each year our summer camps involve a trip down to her Raptors of the Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been a friend of MCAT for many years, and her work fascinates kids. You know,
Yes.
the owls.
And adults. I mean,
Yeah.
their birds are amazing.
Yeah.
She'll start off the program on Saturday afternoon. She'll do a PowerPoint on Raptors of the Rockies, and then
Right.
she'll bring live birds in.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Marks is going to talk about a book that he just finished, Birds of Montana, along with co-authors Dan Casey and Paul Hendricks. And then the Alliance of the what is that? Prairie Alliance Alliance of the
American Prairie Reserve. I
Okay.
believe.
Okay.
He's doing
Oh,
a
there you go.
presentation. Okay. And then Eric Green is going to talk about his osprey work.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a
So-
full 3 days.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And there's a lot of people that appreciate this type of study of the birds.
Yeah.
You know, even casually, Laura here at work, she keeps that osprey cam on her desktop
right.
all the
Uh-huh.
time. She
To
wants to
watch.
know what they're doing.
And we have a few field trips for spouses or non-birders.
Oh, I
One is
see.
a butterfly field trip,
Oh, neat.
and some wildflower and gardening, low water gardening field trips. So,
Oh, it's a perfect time of year for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's nice for you to give them an outlet.
yeah.
Right.
You know, they watch old football games over here.
And Rose, like you said, this isn't in Missoula every year. This is a
Right.
special deal for us. So
We did it back in 2010.
Okay,
So it's been
so-
6 years since
Yeah.
it's been in Missoula.
So everyone should get to the website and check it out and sign up. It sounds like a great
And there was,
opportunity.
the last report we had 324 people sign up.
Wow.
You're doing
Okay,
great with
don't
that.
waste any time then.
No, you better get going. Well, I want to thank you both so much for
Yeah,
taking the time
it
to
sounds
be on
like a
the
great
show.
time.
Thank you very much for
Yeah,
having
thank you.
us.
You know it. We'll be right back. We've got a belly full of guests in the green room. So after this, you'll see another one.
That doesn't mean one of us. It means 1 in 5 people getting
You're doing something about this, man.
Hey, what do you want me to do about it? You guys know the old saying, bears will be bears.
That's not a saying.
Lamorne, a bear will be a bear. So
You can't just blame the bear, not when it's attacking 20% of the people who come here.
20%. I said 1 in 5.
Yes, that's 20%.
No, it isn't. It's 1 in 5, you math nerd. Let's pile on this guy.
Dude, you gotta get rid of this thing. Or at least warn us that there is a bear in the other room, man. We gotta look out for each other. What are you doing?
Hey, what happens between you guys and the bear is none of my business.
Wait, how is this none of your business, man? 1 in 5 people are gonna get attacked by this bear.
Guys, you're overreacting. The bear's not gonna eat all of us. It'll be less than a quarter of us.
None of us should die. It affects us all, Jake. 1 in 5. How can you ignore something so important? How can I protect your pride? 1 in 5, 1 in 5. The majority is 5, and I don't want to deal with this problem.
There we are. We're back.
We are back.
Okay, I was ready. Joel wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I was getting to my paper.
But I know we're busy
And
today.
you see, behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
I would have asked Corey how to pronounce his last name. I want to say
Blasio.
DiBiase.
DiBiase is the, and if you're a fan of pro wrestling, you'd know Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Oh.
Which is
did not
how I
know.
got respect in the classroom when I was a substitute teacher
No
very
kidding.
briefly. That was
They
the
call
only
Clearly,
time
we're
I-
not
Are you
wrestling
related to
fans,
Ted
but-
DiBiase?
I
And
know,
you
I'm
would
the
say-
$10 man.
Okay,
That's
okay.
me.
Okay.
Well, you're here with Very Special Arts. Is that correct?
Yes, VSA Montana. Got a great event coming up on the 22nd, our annual cabaret. That's going to be at MCT. That features performances by our choir, by our dance troupe, and by some students from CS Porter Middle School who'll be
Oh, that's
performing some
great.
evening as well. Yeah. So really exciting. It's our opportunity every year to just really showcase the talent of the folks that we work with, particularly here in the Missoula community.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll also be having actually some artwork shown from the folks at ORI, Opportunity Resources, who create physical works of art,
Right.
paintings, pottery, that kind of thing. We'll be doing a little show beforehand, so there'll be some wine, some hors d'oeuvres, some art to look at, a silent auction to do a little
Oh,
fundraising.
nice.
So it should be a wonderful night.
So does the event serve as a fundraiser? That was
It does, yes. The
Good.
ticket, and I should really make this clear. There are no tickets. Everyone is welcome.
Oh,
The
wow.
number one thing for us is to get people in the doors, in the seats, seeing this wonderful show. But of course, if folks feel inclined to support
Well,
us with a silent
yeah.
auction,
You're not going to say no.
Not going to say no. Absolutely not.
I made a note too that there will be a New Visions dance performance.
Yes, that's the official name. We team up with University of Montana U of M. They teach a class for adults with disabilities to do some dance stuff. They involve their interns as well, so it's really an integrated program where folks are working very well together. And,
Nice.
so it's a great thing, and they'll actually be doing the choir and New Visions dance. Will be doing a number together as well as numbers on their own. So really
Oh,
looking
that's
forward
really
to
great. You know, it's something that MCAT's recorded for a number of years,
Oh.
and the shows are just wonderful. I can't say from firsthand experience. I'm that kind of guy that's like, oh, I'll catch it on MCAT. But they really are wonderful, wonderful programs.
Well, we certainly agree, and I think really what it comes down to is that we as a community, we as a society, I'm talking about everybody, we don't get the opportunity to hear voices of people with disabilities as often as we should.
Yeah.
We don't in our workplaces, we don't in our classrooms, we don't on our stages, we don't in our galleries, we don't in our audiences. And this is that event where we try and push in the other direction and say, okay, this is where we want some new voices on the artistic scene, and that's really what it's all about. And what we're hoping for, of course, is that it pushes things in the direction where this is just a voice that becomes included in just every kind of standard art performance, just every kind of classroom, every kind of workplace.
Right.
And it really is, of course, it's a detriment to people with disabilities that their voices are not always included, but fundamentally it's a detriment to all of us.
to all of us.
So,
Right.
That's really the purpose of the.
Yeah, and then the admission is free.
Absolutely, yes.
So for people who want to learn a little bit more about the event or recheck times or dates, can they go to the website?
Yes, it's vsamontana.org, Montana spelled out,
Okay.
.org. We're also on Facebook. You can look at us there. You can give me a call directly at 549-2984. But the doors will be opening at 5:30 on Sunday the 22nd at MCT for the little reception, and then shortly after 6, the show itself will start.
Oh, great. It's such a wonderful venue, too. It's
Oh,
a really
and-
nice space to be in.
And I should say, I mean, and we have, of course, a number of philanthropical supporters and partners, but I should really highlight MCT as a wonderful partner. They always house this event for us.
Oh, nice.
We do a lot of work together. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better house for this to be. A great
Right.
event, of
And
course.
Scott's got the website up. You
Yeah,
had the
just
website
and the
up?
Facebook page. too.
Right. So check it out. It's going to be a fun night.
Really looking forward to
And congratulations and good luck. Break a leg.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thanks for being on the
bet.
show,
My
Corey.
pleasure.
All right, we're moving along. I know that we've got Jeff from Animal Control, Jessica from the Metropolitan Planning Association, and Rachel from Missoula Outdoor Cinema. So don't
It's
go anywhere.
impossible.
We'll be right back.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Here's your bear spray, babe.
I don't need it. I can outrun them. Look, I ran track in high school.
No, you can't. You're not supposed to run from bears. And you did the shot put.
Okay, I'll spray down.
What? No, don't spray it!
My face is burning! My face is burning now!
When hunting in bear country, understand it puts you at risk. Be smart. Be safe. Be bear aware.
A great day for me includes a walk outside with my wife.
My great day includes reading a good book.
A great day for me includes the morning crossword puzzle.
My great day includes playing the piano.
As you grow older, Missoula Aging Services can help direct your aging journey with a new Options for Better Aging program. Give them a call at 728-7682 to find out more.
We are
There
back
we
with
are.
Jeff Dara from Missoula Animal Control. Jeff, is it a city animal control or is it city county?
It's city county. We're
thought so.
dual function. We
Right.
serve the whole county.
So
Right.
it's spring and the animals are out. And
Right.
it's time to review some rules,
Oh,
right?
You bet. I thank you for the opportunity so we could remind everyone. We're such a loving community for dogs. Missoula for sure is. But there are some rules to keep everybody safe and to keep your dogs safe. The leash law is the biggest one, is to remember it anywhere inside the city limits of Missoula, unless it's a designated dog park, which we only have 2 very small ones, your dog has to be on a leash. I know it's very tempting to go down to McCormick or whatever your local park might be and play chuck it or frisbee with your dog, but that's not legal to do. Your dog has to remain on a leash. And it's for the safety of your animal and the safety of everyone else, because not everyone out there knows about your dog or has a dog. So,
Right.
Some people are outright scared of them. Or, you know, if they're parents with small children, maybe that parent had had a traumatic experience with a dog and they live in fear that the same thing would happen to the child.
Right.
And so this is some of the scenarios I think that crop up with the unleashed animals where the parents flipping out of their minds.
Yes.
It may not be justified, but it's their right to go to that park in safety.
Well, and also, I mean, I hear a lot from friends, oh, my dog is really well behaved.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone thinks their dog is well behaved, but you don't know that dog across the park is well behaved.
that's correct.
So, if everyone is on their leash, then you don't have any of those unfortunate
that's right.
interactions.
And in Missoula, we average about 150 dog bites a year.
Wow.
And of that, more than half of them need medical treatment.
Wow.
So it can be a pretty serious deal.
Medical treatment's expensive if you're the
medical-
dog owner liable
because
for
you
it.
could be liable for it. So, and I see a lot of downtown events, that we have downtown, lunches in the park, and, Brewfest was the most recent one. And I see a lot of people bring their dogs to those kinds of events, and really those aren't really appropriate events to bring their dogs to, because what ends up happening is they know they can't bring their dogs into those events, so they tie them up to things outside of the event, and then they come in and recreate and partake in the event. And that's not, first of all, it's not legal. You can't tie your dog to a bike rack.
Oh, this is good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say you wanted to go to a local establishment and have a beer or a sandwich or something, and you think, well, I'll just tie my dog to the light pole or the bike rack or the parking meter or whatever it is. Well, those are out of date now, but you can't do that. It's according to the ordinance, if you tie your dog to an object like that and then you leave it, it's the same as it being at large. So please don't bring your dog downtown and tie it off to something and then go in, because again, other people are coming by, they don't know about your dog, and it's just a safety concern.
Good point,
That is
because
really
you see
good.
that all the time downtown,
you do.
especially.
And,
My Ginny note was something people may not think about. And I always go up the Roy Froelich Trail at the end of Orange Street, and a lot of people like, of course, to climb the M. The dogs must be leashed at trailhead to a marker, like 100 yards out or something?
Yeah, it's 200 yards generally.
Wow.
Yeah, and Parks has done us all a favor and put marks at 200 yards, but they're not real obvious, and they did that for a reason. They're a little post in the ground, and there's a stick figure where you're on leash or off leash, and so you just kind of need to realize 200 yards. Think of 2 Grizzly football stadiums. That's quite a ways.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's to give your dog time to get acclimated, because there's all this sniffing and things going on, right when they get out of the vehicle. And Waterworks Hill is a tremendous example
yeah.
where people open the door and the dogs are out, and it can turn into a bad deal. So we're just asking that, when you take them out, and we want you to take your dogs out, but when you take them out at those trailheads, keep them on the leash until you get up to the 200-yard mark, and then let them go free, but understand you still have to have a voice command.
Right.
You can't just let them take off. And
Right.
This time of year, there are a lot of things like fawns and small wildlife and things like that too, that they could just take off, and you got to be able to control them with your voice.
Yeah, because that if dogs pack, there's a different psychology, or at least I have read that. One dog alone has a different aspect. 3 dogs together might chase down some wildlife and tear it apart, and you'd be shocked at your own dog, right?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, Buffy, I didn't know you had it in you,
You
or
would do
whatever.
that,
But in a group of dogs, there's a different
Yeah.
psychology that's ancient in them, takes over, and makes a more wild, a more feral animal out of them.
And you may know what your dog will do or not do, but you're not real sure of all these other dogs that you've never met before. So you might feel totally comfortable having your dog off leash, but that might not be a good encounter for your dog, because you're not sure what you're going to run into
Right.
out there. Yeah.
So this is all about protecting your dog, your
Yes,
animal,
yes.
and everyone else in the community,
Yeah.
and so that we can all coexist and get out there and
yeah.
have fun.
In a society full of rules, it's not a bunch of rules just to go out and ruin your
Right.
day. It's a bunch of rules to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and these aren't many rules, people.
There's like-
These are only
I
3,
think
really.
we mentioned 3.
There's only 3 rules with your dog.
And I know we got to move along, but you mentioned at the start that there are 2 dog parks. I know Jacobs Island,
yeah.
right by University,
Right.
and behind the Albertsons Shopping
Right.
Center.
Right.
What's the other one?
There's a small one over at Playfair. It's
Oh.
pretty small, but then it's not built yet, but there's going to be a fantastic dog park at the Fort Missoula Park.
Oh, that was part of the whole big
The big
trails
multi-million
thing, yeah.
dollar
Yeah,
deal.
but it's not done yet, but when it's done, it's going to be, I've sat in on a couple meetings, and Parks has really put a lot of thought into it, and it's going to be fabulous. But until then...
Okay, hold out.
Yeah, hold out.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, thanks so much for taking the time
you
to
bet.
give
Yeah.
these words of dog wisdom.
That's right.
In the crazy days of spring, we just need a little leashing in.
That's right. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we'll be
Thank you.
right back, you guys. I know we've got Rachel from Missoula Outdoor Cinema out there and Jessica from Transportation. And now I understand Franco from Clark Fork Market is here to talk a little bit about the beginning of this great
This show
Missoula
will never
tradition.
end. It
You're
will
right.
never end.
We'll be right back.
Come on, guys. Rolling? Good. When hiking in bear country like this, it's important to remember your essentials, like bear spray and knowing how to use it. Liam, where's my bear spray?
I put it in the bottom of your pack.
I didn't mean... How am I supposed to get it quickly?
When adventuring in bear country, remember, bring bear spray and know how to use it. Hike in groups, make noise, and don't run. Be bear aware.
Can you spot the person with a brain injury? How about here? Or here? You can't always see a brain injury. There are people all around us with brain injuries. Meet Adeline, who suffered a fractured skull from a sledding accident. This is Glenn, who fell from his work truck. Missy was a victim of a random act of violence. Join Brain Injury Alliance of Montana March 30th for Bowl for Brain Strong. For more information and volunteer opportunities, please visit biamt.org.
Here we are.
Well, we are here with Franco Salazar. He is the market manager for the Clark Fork Market. Welcome. Thanks for waiting to be on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What
How'd
a
you
fun
winter?
guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you rust off?
I did, I was actually involved in a winter market this year too. So.
Oh, did you do on 3rd?
The 3rd Street, the Missoula Winter Public Market.
Right.
So, trying to make it a year-round.
Yeah, your
year-round
market's
job.
tearing,
Good
man.
for you. Good for you.
So let's imagine someone doesn't know, like my nephew is visiting from New York. He just got here yesterday. He's never been to Clark Fork Market. What would you tell that guy? What is this thing?
Yeah, so the Clark Fork Market, we've been around. This is our 12th season, so we've been around
That's
since
amazing.
2005. We started out pretty small, but as the years have gone on,
Yeah.
basically the concept we're trying to capture is the full shopping experience. So not only can you find your vegetables and your plant starts, but you can find meat, cheese, eggs, fresh baked bread. So we just want, it's a good place to come and for the community to meet, even if you're not going to, buy your groceries for the week, at least come down and, talk, and it's a social event for people.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's food vendors there.
There is. So the prepared food is something that we've kind of focused on. As the market overall, we are an agriculture organization, so a majority of our vendors are going to be the farmers and the ranchers, but the prepared food actually is something that, we've really been focusing on. We ask that they try to use as much local, as they can, although if it was this time of the year,
there's not too much spinach,
Right.
get a little
Although
some
there's
kale.
a lot of produce already out
could
there.
have some spinach burritos or something.
Right.
But so they're under a little bit of different rules, but we love having them, and that's our opening weekend on May 7th. One of our very popular vendors, the waffle vendor,
Craig.
Yeah, he had a line that was about 30 to 40 feet long.
That's right. It was. I walked by it and went,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah, that mix with the prepared food and the vegetables. We have live music every Saturday. We just, part of our mission, other than, providing an agriculture outlet and then also providing a direct source for customers in the community to come and buy fresh local food, is also the festive, aspect, having the music. We have different nonprofits down.
And they do their tables and give out information. I've seen the library wowza.
The library bus is there. And also right now, especially, there are bedding plants, right?
There are, yeah. And that is a huge range of, you can get everything from your bedding plants, your typical flowers that you're going to plant. anything for your garden, vegetables. Even more so, what we've been getting is native plant
Yes. it's a
vendors.
big
So there's
deal.
another, option for people that are looking for something for their yard or their
Yeah,
house.
that's specific to our Montana climate.
Right, so you know it'll probably do well.
And that market distinguishes itself somewhat from farmers market held up here because of the rancher, the pork, and the beef availability at that market.
Yes, yeah. We, like I said, we started in 2005. There was a need and a niche, for the meat and the cheese. And basically we had a lot of backing from the city at the time. John Engen was actually on our board of directors, so that helped us a lot. And everybody just worked really hard to, there's a few different regulations that we, as far as having the meat and the cheese. So there's a few hoops that we had to jump through, but now we're, where we wanted to be.
Yeah,
And,
we're established. I mean, that is
Yeah.
one successful market.
Oh, it's
when you think of
unbelievable.
nothing, like if you think of a Saturday morning, and there's just like a bunch of cars
That
left
was
over
just
from
a
Friday
big
night.
empty parking
Yeah.
lot. There was nothing
You should be
there.
really proud of it.
Yeah,
Marco.
no,
It's
we're
pretty
really happy
amazing.
with it. And the next step that we're kind of looking into now is actually closing Patty Street.
Oh.
That kind of defines the east border of the market.
Right.
By the hotel?
By the hotel,
Yeah,
by the
because
Holiday
that's
Inn.
so that does get very congested.
It does.
Yeah.
So we're actually trying to open that up, and then
would
we'll
be
see what
great.
happens after
That's a
that.
nice circular, he's like
Yeah.
cul-de-sac turnaround
Yeah,
deal.
so
That'd be
it
great. to
kind of
have.
seemed like a natural fit for us to
That's
kind
true.
of
Yeah.
occupy that space as well.
Oh, good luck with that. And if everyone out there, if you haven't been to market yet, you should go down.
go.
There's already tons of vegetables. I was amazed.
Yeah.
It's been
'Cause
an
it feels
early
cold
spring.
and overcast, and you're like, well, there's
But-
nothing but spinach burritos.
No.
But
And I got eggs for the first time last
Yeah.
weekend, and they were
Oh, did ya?
delicious.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
so
You know,
good.
asparagus right now is a big thing.
Yeah, morels
morel
coming?
mushrooms, that's a big thing. And then it just keeps going through the season. You know,
I
once
know.
that fades out, then the huckleberries come, and then
Right.
the cherries and the
that's
watermelons, and yeah, it just
the cantaloupe.
And the cantaloupes, right? And then the
Dixon melon.
tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, it's already Labor Day. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Something I think I saw on your website I want to mention to people watching is the SNAP program. You know,
Oh,
like
yes.
the EBT, that if people, they say, well, I can't really afford this kind of thing. If people are relying on food stamps, if their food insecurity is high, the market is trying to help those people out right with the SNAP and the EBT.
We are, yeah. And this is our second year. We actually have a new program. We've been working with the Community Food and Agriculture Coalition,
The CFAC people.
CFAC here in town. And we have the Double SNAP dollars program. So basically, anybody that's on the SNAP program has their EBT card,
Mm-hmm.
can bring it down to market, run their card, and we'll match them up
Wow.
to $20.
Oh, there's an incentive.
Yeah,
That's
on the $20
great.
purchase. So if you spend $20 at the market, we'll match you 20 and you get 40 to spend on fresh fruits and
Oh,
vegetables.
that's really good.
And
That's
is that
good to know.
table that's kind of right at the foot of the staircase?
It
that
is,
goes
yep.
down
So if you come
from-
down off of Higgins, right there by, behind the First Interstate Bank, we're just right there on
Right.
the sidewalk.
where the AMT is, ATM is right
Yep,
there.
yep.
That's
The
where I
mobile
usually am.
ATM,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a really wonderful thing.
Yes.
So often people
Double
living on
your money.
the limited incomes, they're doing canned and preserved and, the
Mm-hmm.
government cheese, 5 pound or whatever.
Yeah.
Little variety, high fat content, high salt content, no
Yeah.
farm to table feeling here.
Right.
So
Yes,
that's
yeah.
really a great improvement.
Yeah, it's last year we were able to offer the program, but it was limited. But we actually had some good fundraising this year and received a grant. And so each market, the amount that we can give to everyone is unlimited. It's
Way to
$20 per
go.
person, but we
Yeah.
can help as
To
many
as many
families
people.
as we need to. Last year we ran out of funds, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the day.
Yeah.
And then folks that, maybe didn't have transportation or
Right.
had to work early and couldn't get there till later were kind of cut off from the program. So we wanted to make sure that we
that's
were
great.
able to cover everybody and make sure everybody got to take part.
Congratulations on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right, we better let you off the hook, my friend. Thank you for
All
coming.
right.
though.
Yeah,
See you
thanks for having
Saturday
me.
at market.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
it.
good.
All right, I know we've got Rachel out there. I know Jessica's there somewhere, and there could be one more person.
They may have given up.
Yeah, really. So, if you haven't, stay with us through this. Bears are very dangerous. I think we've made that point
All right.
quite clear.
Is everyone clear on that?
We'll be right
Yeah.
back with another guest.
no matter what you're planning. If you plan to drink, plan to have a friend get you home. Get ride home ideas and tools at plantolive.mt.gov.
I have the power.
I have the power.
I have the power.
I'm Attorney General Tim Fox. You have the power to report suspected child abuse. All it takes is one phone call to 1-866-820-KIDS. If you even suspect child abuse, call.
You have the power to protect Montana's kids.
This message is brought to you by the Montana Attorney General's Office, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, and Northwestern Energy. If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of skin cancer, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer, and the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
We are back, and Rachel is here as promised
Yes.
to promote Missoula Outdoor Cinema, which is a wonderful opportunity to see movies outside, like the walk-in drive-in.
Yes, this is our 15th year.
I was going to ask you that. That's amazing.
So we had kind of an
15?
experimental year in 2002.
Yeah.
But technically it's our 15th year, so it's very exciting for us.
And it is kind of the work of the North Missoula Community Development
right.
Corporation, better known as NMCDC.
Yes, yeah, the
You and your
mouthful.
acronym.
Yes.
Well, I didn't start it, the town did.
Yes.
But one reason this cinema was important was that part of town was always getting, not the greatest shake. It had the least home ownership.
Sure.
It had a lot of working families. And there was little outlet and entertainment and way
Right.
for families to get together.
Just not
And
as much
boom.
to do.
And
Not
a
as
lot
much
of
to
young
do.
families there.
Yes.
And increasingly so.
Well,
right?
and that's one of the things that we work really hard at. We have our movies picked,
Yeah.
and this is actually kind of the debut. We've been talking about the movies. Our sponsors know what the list of movies are, but as far as our general audience, this is kind of
You
the
heard
debut.
it here.
Breaking
Yes,
news.
breaking news.
We need one of those banners across the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we do have one somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yes. Are you going to name the movies?
I will
gonna
name
tell
the
us?
movies. Okay, so a couple things to keep in mind. Our website is nmcdc.org. You can find up-to-date information on our Facebook page, North Missoula CDC. So we have 10 movies this summer, every Saturday in July and August, and then a little extra in September.
Nice.
So July 2nd is Mad Max, Fury Road. July 9th, Triplets of Belleville.
Oh, I'm shocked at that one.
Well, that's all right. It's we have an eclectic
Totally
picking
cool.
committee.
So the reason I'm shocked,
Yes.
right, so people at home know why,
Yeah.
like, why is that guy shocked? This is a very offbeat French
Yes.
film
It's
with the English
beautiful, though.
subtitles,
Yeah.
right? And it's just a hoot. Now
Well, and
the
I think
songs
every
are-
Saturday it's exciting to see, are people coming with, is it just kids? Is it teenagers? Is
Yeah.
it families? Is it date night? What it will be. One thing that we started last year is a fan's choice. So we put a couple
Great idea.
movies out on Facebook.
Fun.
Yep, and so our fan choice is July 16th, Back to the Future. Smoke Signals, July 23rd.
Cool, that's neat.
Yeah, July 30th, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. August 6th, Joel, you'll be very excited, Frozen.
That's a sense of humor right there. It's going to be like 95
Yes,
degrees.
that's right.
We're watching Frozen.
August 13th, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, another
That's
artsy
fun.
one.
Yeah.
August 20th, What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's
Leonardo
fighting for that,
DiCaprio
yep.
at
Johnny
17
Depp,
and
yes.
Johnny Depp at 23.
August 27th, Emile. Another
Amélie.
French.
Amélie.
Amélie.
Sorry.
French.
And I have seen it. Sorry. And then we're ending the season on September 3rd with Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect is fun.
So that'll be fun.
It is
It's
a great
wonderful
assortment
line.
and
it's
some
a pretty
very
sophisticated.
Yes, and we really try and focus on family friendly and a date night and a girls' night and an action and try to do a good variety.
Yeah.
So for people who haven't been to the
Yes.
outdoor cinema, can you describe where it is and what the experience is like?
Yes,
Kind of what you should bring.
It's the old Whittier School on the north side. So just imagine heading on Orange and heading west, just right there on the side of Ole's. It's at the corner of Warden and Phillips. And so essentially we show films at sunset. So bring your blankets, bring your dinner. Please don't bring your dogs.
Right, we heard
Please
about
don't
that.
bring any weapons. Please don't bring any alcohol. But come on in. We accept donations. So we're a nonprofit. And, truly we are just trying to continue to offer these, these movies every summer. $5 suggested donation. We have a concession stand. We sell popcorn. We sell soda. We sell candy. One thing that's great about doing this interview now, this early on in the season, is that we are still looking for sponsorship.
Oh.
So it's a great opportunity for businesses to contact us. Again, just go to our website, nmcdc.org. There are various levels of sponsorship, and it's essentially a commercial. An ad before each movie is what you're paying for.
But
so
a great
10 times.
opportunity to get your name out there to a really good. Because what kind of crowds have you been getting?
We get hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds. I mean,
Yeah.
over a summer we have a couple thousand.
Wow.
So I mean, especially in some of the bigger movies or the hits of the year, we've had several hundred at a time on the lawn. So essentially, it's just the lawn, and we have our big movie screen up on the side of the building.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
It's really a wonderful
It
opportunity,
is.
and MCAT is a proud sponsor, albeit
Yes.
a humble
It's
one.
appropriate. Yes.
But if any nonprofits are watching too, and they say, okay, we want to get our name out there in the community. We want people to know about our service or interact with us in future. Great opportunity.
Yeah, it's
for
very
them to get in front
affordable.
of thousands of people
Yeah,
over
we
the course of the
we
summer.
start our sponsorship at $100,
Right.
and that is sponsorship for on the posters, on Facebook. It'll be mentioned in various ways and things like this, MCAT.
Yeah.
And it's essentially an ad. Depending on the cost, determines how long your logo is up. But before 10 movies. So it's
Yeah.
very cost effective.
And you can bring the whole family.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
meant to be like real group friendly.
Yes, bring
And
20
it is.
bucks and your family and you're set for the night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like the old drive-in.
That's
Drives-in
right.
were created
Yes.
partly, to compete with television.
Yes.
But everybody's going to stay home because it's free.
Mhm.
Let's bring the whole carload
Right.
in
Mhm.
under one, price. So begins July the 2nd.
Right.
And the times are clever. The times are sunset.
Yes.
So obviously, it's
Yeah.
going to get sooner and sooner
That's
as summer
right.
wears on.
Right.
But just to give people an idea, the first screening, July 2nd, is like 9:30.
9:30, because that's kind of the
9:30
height
-ish.
of summer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll be going until midnight.
Right.
Or so
Yeah.
at the very beginning, and then towards the end of the summer, we'll be
Right.
done about 10:30ish or so. So it's kind of fun the way that works. So 10 Saturdays again, every Saturday in July and August, and then that Labor Day weekend, we have Pitch Perfect ending the season.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we better move along.
Thank
you,
you.
Rachel, for waiting.
This is great.
And bringing us another year of Missoula Outdoor Cinema. Because I think I interviewed you about this in
Oh, yeah.
04
Yeah, that's
or
right.
something.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Jessica really is here. I just saw her. So she's going to come out and tell us about an event involving you and long-range transportation planning.
In the mid-1970s, the iconic grizzly bear of the Yellowstone ecosystem had what you might say a close call.
Well, we didn't think that the bear population was going to make it in Yellowstone in 1981. There were perhaps as few as 32 adult females, and so we were really worried about the future of bears there.
U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service biologist Chris Servine has spent the past 33 years coordinating state and federal efforts to recover the grizzly bear. Looking at the volume of data, there isn't a bear population in the world that scientists know more about than the Yellowstone grizzly.
Well, there's over 1,000 grizzly bears in the Yellowstone ecosystem today, and they occupy over 19,000 square miles, which is more than twice the area they occupied in 1981. So we went from recovery to coexistence and trying to balance the needs of people with the needs of bears.
One of the big challenges with grizzly bears, of course, is their omnivorous behavior and the fact that they'll eat just about anything, which continues to put them into conflict. We're seeking to have bears in places that are biologically suitable and socially acceptable. We might need to do a better job of educating the public about what they might see now that they didn't necessarily see 20 years ago in terms of bear use. To work with those individuals to maybe clean up problem areas where we do have food sources or attractants that bring grizzly bears to less socially acceptable areas. And
Okay, we're back. I want to thank Jessica Morris for waiting. And
no problem. But everyone out there has been anticipating.
Right. They were saying, like,
for the
I've
whole...
got things to do, but I need to know about this Missoula Long Range Transportation Plan.
Yes, I'm sure.
What is it about?
So we are in the midst of a update to our regional transportation plan. It's a project that we do every 4 years, and the last one was done back in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So we had kickoff meetings back in November, and we got a lot of really great public comment. We have a website, activatemissoula.com, that we got about 700 comments from after those public meetings, and so next Tuesday night, we have a follow-up meeting. Our Transportation Summit number 2 is what we're calling it. And we're looking to get more public input. And we're going to have some presentations by staff that will talk about transportation issues and challenges for the future. We're looking at 30 years down the road, so to speak, of transportation improvements, whether that be biking, walking, busing, or driving. And so we're also going to be doing an interactive game with the public and asking folks to help us budget transportation projects for the future. So we've only got a limited amount of money that we expect to get over the next 30 years. And of course, a lot more transportation projects than we have the money for. So we're going to do kind of a table-based game where people can actually buy, so to speak, projects that they would like to see with the money that we know that we'll have available in the future.
And this input will then help you prioritize.
Exactly.
Or think about how to prioritize projects.
Exactly, yes. So, you know, we have this meeting next Tuesday night at the Missoula Children's Theater. It's presentation starts at 5:30, but signing in, people should show up around 5 or 5:15, sign in. We're going to have snacks and coffee, and it'll be about a 2-hour meeting, give or take, and we're hoping people will come out and give us some good input.
Yeah, because, you know, everyone likes to complain about traffic issues.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an opportunity for your voice to be heard in a constructive way.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We're always looking for that. Everybody uses transportation in some way.
It's true.
And everybody who is driving is also walking and biking. I mean, everybody uses some form of transportation every day, multiple times a day, probably. So it's something that is an integral part of everybody's life. And so, yeah, we think that everybody, because of that, should be involved in helping us figure out the future of transportation here in Missoula.
And are there any, you know, specific big projects or issues that you know will come up or that will be on the table?
Well, really the biggest thing is that we don't have enough money to do what we need.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are a lot of big projects coming up in the next couple years that have been planned. There's major bridge rehabilitations that are going to be happening. Russell Street, which I know a lot of people are interested in, that's going to start construction in the next year or two. And so there are a lot of projects that are in the pipeline right now that have been planned and talked about, you know, for the last 5, 10, 20 years. And so we need to think now. We need to start thinking now about 20 years from now.
What are those going to be?
Years.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So, you know, we want everybody to kind of think about the future. And of course, there are a lot of unknowns in the future, but take what we know now, look at what we need now. Also, you know, maintenance of our infrastructure is a big thing that people want to see us maintain what we have. We want new things, but we also need to take care of the things that we have on the ground now. So it's challenging for us in the transportation field because we want to provide all these great services and facilities and infrastructure. But we also need the money to do that. So that's where
Right.
the priority comes in.
That's,
Prioritization
good
comes in.
idea to try to get that public wisdom.
Mhm.
What is a priority to you guys, residents? You know,
Yeah.
there
Mhm.
has been talk about a local gas tax, for instance,
Mhm.
and I don't know whether that gas tax would be just a maintenance. You
Mhm.
know, and then sometimes there's spiky things happen, like the money that created the trail that goes
Mhm.
down, you know, to Lolo.
Right.
Also precipitating the bridge that's going over Reserve
Right,
Street.
right.
So some people look at these spikes and they're like, oh my God, they're spending $4 million on a pedestrian bridge over Reserve Street.
Right.
And so they start shutting down over
Yeah.
different issues, or they get very worried about this talk of gas tax. And
Right.
I think, just as you said, a constructive way, so that people that have those kinds of concerns can meet with the people that are dealing directly with those kinds of concerns.
Right.
It would create a much better sense of
Yeah,
connection.
but it's ongoing, and it doesn't just happen in these bursts where there's a
No.
rash of articles, you know, on
Yeah.
news stories, and
Yeah.
people freak out.
Yeah.
And
but
things slow down, like
Yeah.
Russell Street's widening. I mean, I don't know how many meetings MCAT had covered over what Russell Street was eventually going to look at. I would say it numbered over 40 hours
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
of public
sure.
meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
really want to be ahead of the curve, like
Right.
being ahead of the pain with the
Right.
oxycodone or something, you know. But when people are reactive, they're emotional, they slow things down, it takes forever.
Right.
So it's almost a pitch to you guys watching out there that are
Go.
news junkies who they've stayed to watch over an hour of this program. They
You're the
definitely
kind of people who should be
come
at MCT.
And
Tuesday,
yeah.
the 24th.
Yeah, and every one of those projects starts in the long range transportation plan.
Right.
Yeah.
So you,
So they come from that and end up either never happening, or sometimes they do happen. And sometimes, you know, a grant comes out of the sky, like with the Missoula to Lolo Trail,
Right.
and that funding appears, and it's, yep, we got a project for it. So yeah, it's a complicated thing sometimes, but the long range plan, the long range transportation plan, is sort of the overarching document of transportation, where we look at every project that we may need or want in the future and then prioritize those. So
and
it's
this
important.
meeting, this is something that you can just show up at the designated time
Yeah.
and take part. You don't have to buy a ticket or sign up or anything like that.
Nope. And if folks want to get more information, they can look at our project website, which is
Yes.
activatemissoula.com.
And we've been showing that
Yes.
throughout, and so
Great.
there's the website up again.
Yeah.
Well, good. I hope you get a great turnout, because it's important. I mean, the quality of a transportation plan really can make or break a city.
Yeah.
And
true.
people should attend and voice their.
That's right. That's what they say. The people who own the future show up. I've heard
Okay.
that said.
And if you can't show up to the meeting, then on our website, there's opportunities to submit comments.
Oh, good.
We have a survey, actually a couple surveys up there right now. So if you can't make the meeting, you can provide input online.
Terrific.
Excellent. Jessica, thank you
Thanks
for waiting
again.
once
Sure.
again.
Of
and for
course.
doing this noble work. So I hope you get a good turnout
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
this Tuesday.
Appreciate it.
And thank you, patient viewer.
Our final marathon
Yeah.
episode
Our
of Missoula
marathon
Live
episode concludes
2016.
this season.
Yes.
And so I want to wish all of you a happy and safe summer.
Wonderful.
And we'll see you back the
After
Monday after
Labor
Labor
Day?
Day.
After
We'll
Labor
be back
Day.
at it. Yeah. So take care. Thanks for watching.
Bye.